And we are joined by the legend himself, Matt Giteau, fresh off his first hit out of rugby in 2.5 years, mate. You didn't come in with a walker, so great to see. Well, welcome to the show.
No, I might leave with one.
Stop.
No, it was good. Obviously, it's been a long time since I was playing, so you always have those nerves and those doubts. I played career for a long time, so I just didn't want to come back and be a passenger. So I think for me, I got a lot of confidence out of that 20, 25 minutes that I played. I felt like I was able to add to the team and I can still contribute. So it was really good for the confidence.
What about just in terms of the body? Because 2.5 years, man, is a long time. No doubt about, obviously, the rugby quality of yourself, but just how those impacts. There's a clip coming up of you scoring that try, mate, and you're getting absolutely bashed.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see the guy. So I was already over the line. And then a winger, he's quite a big winger.
Yeah,
he hit me from the side, but yeah, luckily I didn't have too far to go. But the body's good. I think it wasn't like I did nothing for 2.5 years. So I think consistently or habitually I'll always train, even to enjoy my holidays. I try and stay fit. So the running side of things has been fine. It's just this 5 weeks that I've been, or 6 weeks in this preseason with San Diego, we've been able to get that contact, get the body ready. And it was good. Obviously, adrenaline as well. You don't really feel the impacts. It's just the next day.
Did you have any kind of nerves?
Massive, yeah. Yeah, massive. I think because also I think when I played for such a long time, when you come into a group, guys are hesitant to give you feedback, honest feedback, I think.
Yeah,
and that's probably the biggest thing. You know individually how you're playing. So that was where the nerves were. I wanted to be able to contribute, feel like I could still add to the group. But knowing that I think guys soften the blow a little bit, once you've played for a while, how'd you go? Yeah, no, you were good. But you know deep down that you probably weren't that good. So The nerves were there. I felt like, obviously, a new player coming in the squad, there was a little bit in the media about it. So I put more pressure on myself to perform. And not that I thought I did anything well other than for myself, prove that I could potentially contribute still to the Legion.
And then, mate, obviously you've been here now sort of 6 or so weeks, got through pre-season. How are you settling in your new team, San Diego? How have you found it so far?
Everything's been good, but my roommate.
I wanted to get that in there.
Roommate carried you through this 6 weeks.
Corbs' house and you are house sharing. Yeah, please do elaborate.
Well, I feel like I'm the cleaner. Is that right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I think for the first
we do have a cleaner though as well.
We do have a cleaner, yeah, and I appreciate when that cleaner comes. But it was almost for the first 10 days, I was just like, surely, he must be doing something. Then it just clicked in my mind. I've got a 12-year-old boy, and he's basically my 12-year-old son. So we found our needs.
Yeah.
We're tight.
I call him dad. He calls me son.
Yeah.
It's been a bonding relationship having a more seasoned head here to sort of run the ship because I'm a massive child in my own house.
You guys knew each other before because I will come onto the Giltinis. Don't want to get away from San Diego, but worked with each other at the Giltinis back in California. Going back to what Corb said, it must be great to be back in Southern California and then wearing that San Diego badge. It looks good on you, pal.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. The red and black reminds me of my days at Toulon.
And with Marlon as well.
Yeah, with Mar. So I feel like, it feels comfortable. I like the colours. But the squad's been great. The players are really good. The coaching staff, everyone's been very welcoming. And I felt at home quite quickly. I reckon probably the army camp had a lot to do with that because you get split off into different groups.
Right, yeah.
In those little groups, you got your mini teams where you're getting to know people that you generally wouldn't get to know that quickly. So, you trip up, trip back. It was really good for me, to integrate into the group. So, everything's been great. I really feel welcome. I love the team, the area, the support that San Diego gets is a lot bigger than what we were getting in LA. So, it is nice to be here.
And obviously you have a great roommate, really, for the record, don't you?
No, look, you know what? We found our groove.
We did.
And now I love it.
He sweetened me up with peanut butter clusters, mate. He brought those into my life.
Well, I actually bought them for myself. And then I came down to put them on my breakfast and they were gone.
Late night, Polar Bear just raided the cupboard. That's the one thing I've had to get used to is just him actually having food that's delicious in the house. And me, I usually order it if I need something delicious because if it's there, Yeah, the controls. The controls not the same as this guy. I'm obviously not playing till 41 like this man for a reason. Discipline with food probably falls into that. But also, Matt, we touched a little bit when you first spoke about coming over and wanting to sort of finish and stuff. How have you found this second go round in the MLR so far from the first go round?
Pretty similar. Obviously the teams are different, but you still come in with that, well, me individually, come in with that expectation of wanting to perform. I think first and foremost, my responsibility or the pressure I put on myself was to show that the fellas that I'm here for the right reasons. I'm committed to playing rugby. I want to get better every day, work hard, earn their respect, and be a player that they want to play with. I think, you don't want to rely on reputation. Because very quickly, as soon as you leave, they said, he's not the same player he used to be. Which I know I'm not the same player I may have been when I was 25, but I still want to bring that same enthusiasm, that same passion, that same drive, and show the group and the coaching staff as well, that I'm here for the right reasons and I want to add to the Legion and hopefully, win that shield.
Gitz, you talk about reputation, though. You come with a massive reputation, and even in this league, because of winning it only a few years ago with the Giltinis. I want to touch a little bit on that because that experience of having that championship winning experience is going to be so useful. San Diego just missed out on it last year. Don't want to go too far there. But having that experience, those memories of Giltinis on a positive front, how awesome were they? How awesome was it with your first MLR experience at LA, and what can you do to bring some of that down to San Diego?
I think the whole experience for me, that was when this opportunity came up, automatically you think about the good times and that year, winning the title, the fun we had, the camaraderie, the mates that you develop for life off the back of winning a title and sharing that experience together was a real driving force for me to come back. The only doubt I had was whether I could still play at that level or still contribute because I'd not played in such a long time. So obviously I've only got through a trial match, which doesn't mean a lot other than for me personally, I feel like I can add off the back of that and continue to grow and hopefully build into the season. But as far as what I can bring when the season happens, I don't know. I think we've got a lot of great experienced players around. There's some great leaders culturally, but also on the field. And if I can add in any area, I'm happy to. If I am just there to perform my role, I'm also happy to do that as well.
And then one area that, I haven't heard you talk about much, but I know was also a big factor of why you came back was there's a certain dessert that
I knew you were going
to love here as well. He did tell me off camera it was about 35% of the reason he came back.
Yeah, it could have been close to 40%. So there's a thing, the Manhattan Beach Ice Creamery, they've got a cream witch that they make.
Oh.
And so you've basically got cookie dough either side. So you've got a choc chip cookie. In the middle is the ice cream. And the one that I like is half dipped in milk chocolate. And then they freeze it. And it, Corbs, I introduced him to him. Yeah. So the cream witch. But you can only get them here at Gelson's or 7-Eleven. I did my research before I came. So that's where I've been going. They're unreal.
It's no wonder I'm just massively overweight at the moment.
But you're basically blaming Gitz.
Well, they're in the freezer. They're in the freezer. Yeah, they don't last. They don't last when they stay in the freezer.
No, so I bought a few and left them in there because just at some point you're going to feel like dessert. I don't buy it and then going to have it that night. I came down, Corbs sitting at the table. He said, I got a confession, mate. I said, what is it? He said, I ate both your ice cream.
Oh!
So now I know that I've just got to, when I buy them.
It's so true as well.
Yeah, but when I buy them, it's like, do we want dessert tonight? He said, yeah. So, okay, I get them. But if we're early in the morning, if he's feeling disciplined, he says, I don't want them, I don't get them.
Oh, well, there you go. Talk about discipline and working with, your son. I was actually going to say working with people who you know already.
It's jokes, I'm a coach.
Well, I was going to bring more of a, say in terms of being around San Diego, Marnonu, working with him, trying to keep this conversation in terms of going towards the lines of getting it back towards San Diego. That is so good to be back playing with him, man. I mean, just the experience that you two carry is insane. And what people can learn off that, the players can learn off that, what the league can learn off that, must be exciting to be back with him.
Yeah, I mean, even for me, learning off, what he's been able to do, he's constantly been playing. His game constantly evolves. I think he's really evolved as a leader from when I was at Toulon. Toulon, obviously, double world champion, unbelievable player, but he was reluctant to talk and give his opinion. Well, I mean, he would one-on-one, but it's just I don't know. It's just like with Skux, he's a private person. He just does his job. He's always been a professional. But coming here, what I've been really impressed with is just his leadership skills.
Yeah,
he's fallen into that role.
Never have guessed that though.
Yeah, well, I think obviously coming here, he would be, well, even in any team he's been in, he's one of the most experienced. But it's just, I don't know, for whatever reason, it took him a while to grow into that role. But coming here, he's been great. Even just away from rugby for me, going to breathe, getting the recovery, doing all the right things.
Let's just put it out there. Breathe Degrees is, this is not a sponsorship thing, but it is a very nice, let's say, recovery area in San Diego. Is that where you spend most of the time?
When you're 41, yeah. So we, myself and Ma will spend a lot of time there, yoga, different things.
Cold plunge, sauna, just for everyone listening.
Yeah, no, but I just reckon, I think just the fact he knows San Diego so well as well, he's been here for a while, away from rugby, he's been able to get me comfortable. This is where potentially families can go. Here's a beach, here's a park. He's got 3 kids, I've got 3 kids, so we're kind of in that same, lifestyle kind of area. So, yeah, he's been massive for me.
All right, Matt, and obviously, didn't play in the MLR last year, so you had that year sort of break. Since when you first started to now, how do you feel like the league's developed, the quality of training, the standard of squads? I know you've only had 1 hit out, but you must have a little bit more of an idea.
Yeah, I think you just look at the depth of squads, throughout the MLR now compared to when I first came in. I think our team was seen as a superstar team because we had 3 or 4 guys with Super Rugby experience or guys that have played in the Northern Hemisphere, whereas now every team is stacked with probably 5 or 6, sometimes, quality players that make a big difference. And when these players come in, it's not really, they add a lot obviously from a game point of view, but it's what you touched on earlier at training, things that they can teach people, certain lines. When you run a move, who you're trying to manipulate, just that whole thinking aspect of the game, those small things, I think is where the MLR has obviously grown. The squads are deeper and the games are a lot harder. I watched a lot of it last year. Obviously still following the Legion because, Skux was playing and I was interested to see how he went. I thought Corbs was somewhat involved. But I thought potentially it was going to be his last year, so I was really hopeful that he'd get over the line. So I did watch a lot of the MLR. Obviously, the standard's getting better. The local talent is getting a lot better. And, I think it's just going to keep improving.
Do you feel like that being, I say, someone like, let's not get around it, like the standard of the player that you are in your career and now, like you've got a duty of being there to increase growth of rugby here in the US, because just having your name is going to be massive, but maybe getting out into the community, obviously being in the MLR with the guys in training, whatever. Do you feel that responsibility, or is that gone through your thought process?
Well, it's not a responsibility that you feel, but I just think as a decent person or a rugby player, when I first came in as a junior, senior players would teach you certain things. Yeah. You'd learn habitually what they do, stretching, recovery, all that stuff you don't know. It's almost like my older son and the middle son. My older son will do something, whether it's right or wrong, the middle son will then follow. Yeah. So it's similar with a rugby team. So learning professionalism at a young age for me was important, and I think just through my habits and what I do each day is hopefully, leading by example, showing players, how to look after your body away from the field. But when you're on the pitch, we were talking about it before off camera, is you almost coach as you run as a player. Yeah. So if you feel like the move was off, you give back initial feedback and then you explain why. And then the next time they run it, they'll run it better automatically. The play is working better. So I think it's not just, it's not a responsibility. I just feel from the way I was taught when I first came through it, the Brumbies setup, it was just what happens. Right. The older guys, I suppose, more your obligation, to pass on that knowledge, because it's only going to improve your squad and then obviously improve the MLR.
And I know last week, Matt, as well, you got to see, we're talking about the development of the league, you got to see Snapdragon Stadium. One, what did you think of it? And 2, how excited you are to actually play some footy out of that venue?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think even the changing rooms with your hot, colds, recovery, that's the first thing I noticed. See, when you're 41,
the recovery stations.
Okay, that's where I'm going to sit, but there's a hot, cold plunge. The fact that when you walk out of the change room, you must have felt you got your families there.
It's amazing.
Like, it's just a different experience. And that's also another reason why I come to the States initially, was just for a new experience. just a new rugby and cultural experience, and something that I can share with my family as well. So I'm looking forward to playing there and having the family involved.
Look, to kind of wrap this up a little bit, is I heard things about Victory Tour. You say this is your last year, whatever you want to call it. How much do you just want to enjoy this? You're doing stuff off the field as well. Must give a big shout out to your show, Kick-Ons and Kick-Offs. Make sure you go and watch that or listen to it, wherever it may be.
Actually, we had a guest appearance.
Yes, I was going to say there was a little rap involved there, Corbs.
Yeah, no, it went viral, obviously. No, I'm joking. But no, it's I'll give it a plug. So anyone who doesn't know it, obviously, it's a fantastic show with Matt Giteau, Adam Ashley Cooper, Drew Mitchell, the prof as well, the host, who's a comedian as well. And it's a great rugby show. And obviously, Matt's a big part. We did a little Six Nations summation rap last week that seemed to get a decent bit of attention. And
the Irish, they love to score tries. Even with no sexton, they play so wise. Crossing their T's, dotting their I's. Best in the comp.
Matt kindly agreed to come on this show as well in return. So it worked out pretty good. But that's part of the transition, part of life after as well. And it seems like you guys just have a bunch of fun as mates as well.
Well, I think that's organically where it goes for us. So there's a script that we get sent through, but I don't look at it. Just because I want to be authentic, we'll have a couple of beers. Yeah, we come on, have a chat. And we may mention something, because if you go to an event, a corporate event, they say, "I'll tell a funny story about this." My mind just goes empty. I'm like, I don't have anything. But then when you get around, you start chatting with boys, it may trigger a story. And that's basically what we do. We just try and show the other side of rugby, obviously. We talk about the games, but we more talk about the kick-ons. So that's the kick-offs, about the games, the kick-ons.
Yes, there it is. Yeah. So busy with that. You're going to finish up this year. What is Matt? I want to almost know, what is Matt Giteau's plan for 2024? Win an MLR, kick-on, kick-offs is going to be top of the podcast tree. Anything else?
We can tie with the rugby rundown.
Oh, of course. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that.
I think, I'm here because I love to compete. I want to win. I wouldn't come here just for a holiday. So from a rugby point of view, I would love to win the MLR Shield, as every other team would, this time of year. So, that's the rugby goal. And then later on, when the family comes, then, you've got that other side of things. That's switching on, playing rugby, then also experiencing San Diego and just having another life experience with the kids.
Legend, mate.
Oh, and the wife too.
Don't forget about that. Gits, that's incredible. Thank you so much for coming on, mate. We really appreciate that. Thank you for staying and keeping up with Corbs in the house.
What I do.
Cleaning. And we'll be keeping an eye on you. I say, Gits, where can the people who do watch this from in Australia, can you just say the Rugby Network? That's where they can watch it from, the MLR games?
Yes. Watch everything, only Legion on the Rugby Network.
Brilliant. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on,
Cheers.
man.
Cheers, Dad. No.